Everyone, Robert G. Green, CEO of Pre-Post Game, players rep here to educate and empower, protect the athletes and the family's best interests and theirs alone. It is Monday, March the 12th, 2018, approximately 5:45 p.m. I'm doing this live again quickly. I'm supposed to be joining my ball Hawkins regarding the free agent frenzy, as well as getting prepared for the African American Athlete Radio Talk Show on Wednesdays when we do a podcast. I will be their guest on there and doing sports business analysis. The reason why I told people a couple of days ago I'm going to start doing more podcasts simply because I need to provide the education and knowledge that you don't get on those shows that you see during the day at 10 a.m., at 11 a.m., 6 a.m. It doesn't matter. Kind of spins you in circles, and people really don't get to understand really what's going on pertaining to their favorite athletes, favorite teams, and in the business of the sport that they actually like to watch and see. Give you some more insight, knowledge, and information. For example, understanding the terms of guaranteed versus fully guaranteed. Kirk Cousins is on a precipice of doing something that I've been advising people, my company has for years now, is that, how should I say this? The better you play, the shorter the contract, the better you play, the more you make. I probably should copyright that. I'm going to say this again. The better you play, the shorter your contract, the more you make. That's because, again, Kirk Cousins is on a precipice of signing a 3-year deal, fully guaranteed money. What people don't understand in this business, and athletes in particular, and the families, is if you play well for the first 2 years, the team doesn't want you to get to that third year. So in essence, they're going to want to extend you. And again, you have the same process, do it all over again. So once again, for those guys that continue to sign the 6-year deals, and we talk about free agent frenzy, we knew, and again, those that are in this business unfortunately knew that this day will come for a lot of these guys that sign these ultra max deals regarding 6 years and a certain amount of money that we knew on paper this wasn't realistic. Those same agents that basically smile in your face and go tell the next kid in college and family that, hey, I just got this guy $100 million deal, knew that guy wasn't going to see even a half of that money. It's sad and it's a shame. At the end of the day, that's why pre-post game was created. That's why the players rep was formed to basically educate and empower and protect the athletes and the family's best interests alone. So again, I do not know if this actual broadcast is skipping. Once again, I tell everybody, because where I live at, on the water, please let me know if this actually live is coming in good. So if it is, I'll get started when I talk about the free agent frenzy. So NFL today, talking about March, and March is talking about league years and open the league year. So it's like in the regular world, January 1st, the new year. When it comes to the National Football League, today is the 12th. So again, essentially March 13th to 12th is the new league year. New league years begins where all these different free agents now get released, and other ones get signed for the money that's under the salary cap. So some of the teams that have a lot of money under the salary cap right now, just give me a second, bear with me. The top team as of right now is the New York Jets, $92.1 million under the cap. But you also have teams such as the Cleveland Browns at 77. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 67, and just to name a few. But at the same time, talking about Kirk Cousins, his word is that the Minnesota Vikings, who has $47 million under the cap in a position open at quarterback, is also in the running. So as of right now, Kirk Cousins is in line to become the highest paid player, but the first player ever to get what you call fully guaranteed compensation. So fully guaranteed compensation is completely different than we talk about guaranteed. So just 2 days ago, Mike Evans, the wide receiver out of Tampa Bay, signed a 5-year, $82 million contract with $55 million guaranteed. Again, guaranteed, not fully guaranteed. So again, to educate you guys on what that exactly means, in that contract, where if I said I'm going to be at the store at 7 o'clock guaranteed, what you see and what you hear from that thought process, you just assume that means I get it all. Unfortunately, so is the same thing that's going on with some of these players, even though they're playing in the exact league that they're in. But that guarantee can say something as if you're guaranteed to $55 million if you play all 17 games for 3 years. It can say if you make it to work on time for 97% of the time. It can say that if you had a drug problem, you can't fail or miss any drug test, or you can't do this, you can't do that. It may say that you have to basically perform and make sure you do every workout for the summer, and therefore then you have those guarantees. A few years back, there's a thing that these teams were doing, what we call a poison pill. A poison pill, for example, we tell you that, you get after 16 games, you play, say, 95% of your plays, you will collect another $6 million. So you see that number on your contract, $6 million, but then after the fact, you turn around and then One game, they basically take you out for 5 plays, and then they continue to take you out for 5 more plays and 5 more plays. As the season continues to grow and move along, you don't realize they're actually putting in what they call a poison pill. So again, you're talking about players who don't understand the business that they're in. You're talking about the agencies that they basically end up supposed to work for the player, but in essence, when you actually sign an agreement in a document that literally now has poison pills in it, you shouldn't be mad at the league and the team. You should be mad at the person that you allowed to represent you, because that's not your best interest. At the end of the day, you have to understand what goes into that before you even really hire these people. That's what pre-post game is here to do. It makes absolutely no sense with the CBA, stands for collective bargaining agreement, that you don't understand what goes into this and what your rights are pertaining to the National Football League, especially if you spent the last 15 years or 12 years, whatever it may be, trying to get there. So again, it doesn't matter what level, NCAA, professional. At the end of the day, those people are business entities. They have EINs, which is called employee identification numbers, that's set up to make it work a certain way. When you sign your name to something, it is your responsibility as an athlete, as a professional, as your own business entity to understand exactly what's in that and also make it work for you. If you don't make it work for you, the difference between them and you is that they're going to be around a lot longer than you, because your body, if you will, just like food, has a life expectancy on it. So again, at the end of the day, the older you get, the harder it is to be able to negotiate on your behalf. So when you come in, you can't come in already not realizing what's going on and figure it out when you get older. Because when you get older, the system is set up to move on from you. Then it's too late. And that's when we have guys that go broke 80% of the time. Because at the end of the day, the same people is letting you know and making you think that you understand what's what. That's not true. So again, free agency, Dominican Suter's got cut today. Quite a few veterans. Richard Sherman just signed with the San Francisco 49ers because he has some type of, obviously he wants to play against Seattle, since he played against the 49ers for so long. But again, when somebody tells you that you're no longer worth, the money that they owe you or pay you, then again, sometimes you get, take things personal. You want to basically go back out there and let them know that was a mistake. So good luck to Mr. Richard Sherman and his success and his injury healing from his ruptured Achilles, and hopefully does well, going forward from there. But once again, today's situation is set up because of the agents 3 years ago that had guys signing contracts on paper, and literally they knew that this day would come and they would never get the rest of that money. Now, again, for those players that are highly notable and literally had some, they say, gas left in the tank, these guys will end up signing other places to bring notoriety to new teams that's, with a salary cap, pertaining to that salary cap, so they can actually, help them sell tickets and help them sell hope to their fan base prior to the NFL draft coming up as well. In certain times, situations, you got a lot of veteran quarterbacks that might get picked up certain places when teams are going to basically draft a quarterback to be young. So, for example, the Buffalo Bills, who just traded Tyrod Taylor to Cleveland, the reality is they're talking about word is they might pick up Case Keenum when Kirk Cousins, if he goes there, or Sam Bradford. In essence, their goal is when Buffalo just made a trade today, for those who don't know, they traded with Cincinnati, an offensive lineman, to move up from 22 to 12. Now, I'm going to say here, I'm not a genie, but I'm going to say 12th pick in the draft, the Buffalo Bills is going to be Mr. Lamar Jackson of the Louisville Cardinals. So, again, you heard it here first. But at the same time, by trading up, you get a veteran now that's there that literally for 1 year, 2 years under a pretty relatively controlled contract. And then you also have a new quarterback that's called the face of your franchise that's also signed under cheap labor. So normally, like I said, again, talking about the salary cap, now that you can pull that off, have two quarterbacks that usually make the most money under contract for 4 to 5 years without spending a lot of money. That's how you try to build the rest of your team. So just a little bit insight, again, on what free agency really means and how they kind of go about doing their business. It's not always about, what the weather looks like. A lot of times you got to focus on tax-free states, telling my guys that are going into their last contract, where they want to live when they no longer playing. Do they have property, businesses, and things of that nature that's in a certain area? So, again, for all the fans that wanted Richard Sherman to coach, like New England, for example, Richard Sherman went to school at Stanford. He played in Seattle. He's been in the NFL for 7 years. We're quite sure he has a lot of businesses or opportunities that's out in the West. So to uproot your family and your business, if you will, to move all the way across for a contract that, could be there for 2 years, 3 years, is not always in the best interest of the actual player. So, again, he's doing things that make sense to him, which we have to support and understand. But at the same time, fans don't always get the understanding of what's what. A lot of times people take it personal based off what's been put out there by the media or the narrative that's been spun to make things look a certain way, which is not the case. You got the Tennessee Titans, the Houston Texans, San Francisco, and Tampa Bay also has a lot of money in a salary cap situation. So if I was looking at the Houston Texans and a lot of money, I would say they'd probably be looking for they can look for a pretty high-priced veteran or free agent running back. Let's just say Le'Veon Bell wanted a long-term deal. Houston Texans have the money to get it to him under their salary cap from there. I know they have Lamar Miller a couple years ago. But how that works, again, at the end of the day, if you put Deshaun Watson with Hopkins and with Le'Veon Bell, again, from a ticket sale standpoint and a notoriety standpoint, that will catapult the Houston Texans with the return of J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney into the forefront of a lot of things. So, again, you look at these things and then you wonder, like, okay, now that's how they make decisions. I get it now. It's more clear to me. So, again, just wanted to get on really quick to basically give you guys a little bit of information, education regarding what's going on today in NFL free agency frenzy. I also, again, I try to explain to you what guaranteed versus fully guaranteed means. Kirk Cousins pulls this off. Like I said, again, he's going to set precedent. Again, the more money I say play well, sign a short-term deal, the more money you make, or something like that. I got to copyright it. I got to go back and listen to it. But at the end of the day, no player in the National Football League, when your average career is 2.9 years, should sign a 6-year contract. Doesn't matter what that agent says. Again, at the end of the day, our company is Pre-Post Game at prepostgame.com. We're a sports business management advisory firm. We also provide transition succession planning for athletes, again, to ensure they're responsible, respected, and remembered on and off the field. And signing a 6-year deal where you know the money that literally is not going to go there. The only thing that's going to happen is that when that agent gets that guy to sign that contract, he's quickly going to turn that contract over and go to some kid in college and their family and show 9 figures, knowing that that guy might only get a third of that contract. So, again, being misled, misrepresenting yourself is unfortunately a part of this business that happened way too long. It goes on way too early in these kids' careers, such as high school, AAU, for those guys that can go transition to whether it's the college game or pro game right away. Like I said, I'm talking about basketball at this point, or even in baseball and hockey. So, again, for more information, please follow us at the Players Rep 1 at Twitter and at Instagram. You can also follow me here at the Players Rep 1 at Facebook. Or like and follow my public figure page at the Players Rep in general. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. So now I'm going to move on over and see what's going on in the Ball Hawk Show and join his podcast regarding free agent frenzy. I'm Robert T. Green. God bless you guys. Take care.